All right, we got a roof leak here. We're going to do a quick video inspection of what is going on with the leak, diagnosing, finding the issue, and talking about some things to make a little learning experience out of someone's misfortune here with a roof leak. So I got a call, come out, meet the homeowner inside. Looking out of the kitchen window in the soffit of this overhang, there's a big rotten area where he was working on it, saw water is actively coming in, put the brakes on, put a screen over it so birds and animals can't get in. We're looking at this wall coming up. We're talking about step flashing here and the angle this sits at. So if you're doing a roof install or you're doing a repair, there's some things to look out for when you have a angled wall with flashing, as well as this little pinch point of the valleys. So if you look up here, by the way, bear with me, I'm using a new phone gimbal, the DJI Osmo 6 gimbal, so everything is sturdy and stable, but I'm trying to figure out how to use this, so bear with me. You got a lot of water in this section. It all funnels down and pulls, well, this part here doesn't, there's no valley, it just runs off. You might get some running down due to surface tension down here, but for the most part, from about here up all the way to the left, including from the valley further over to the left up to about here, all this funnels down this valley right to this point right here. And if you look, you see this crack right here in the shingle, and the shingle is up high. This actually right here is the point of intrusion right here, where this is where water's getting in. I don't know if I can get my phone low enough here. Turn the gimbal up a little bit. If you look under there, you see that piece of shiny mill finish flashing? It comes up to about right there, and then from my thumb up, there's nothing. It's just a dark void. That's all attic area. This shingle, they slit to come up under the flashing here like this. Not a good idea. Honestly, they should have, wherever the shingle breaks, had this flashing on top of whatever row comes out here, because if any water is on this, you don't want it going under the shingle, you want it coming out on the shingle. Furthermore, that flashing underneath is not far enough up, and the tear here is not good. Honestly, what I would have done if I was roofing this years back, which by the way, luckily, they're in, the water coming in is going in the overhang and out, not inside the house. If it would have been another few inches up or over that way, you would have had water in the house. So because they're calling for a lot of rain this week, starting late tonight, tomorrow, we're going to split this seal loose right here, shove a piece of flashing up under there. We're going to talk about the flashing here in a minute as well, and basically make it a diverter. It's going to go under this shingle, under this, out just a little past this area of importance right here. It's just a diverter. Going to catch the water, divert it past the bad area, and continue its journey on down to the gutter. It'll stop the issue. It's 2007 installs when they said this roof was. It's still got some life to it. I'm not going to recommend doing anything crazy. This wood is still solid. Nothing rotten here. The water is making its way in straight down to the soffit, so that's good. That's best case scenario. You don't know what's going on, but it could be a lot worse. So that's what we're going to do to kind of just buy him some time and get this in a repair in a sense. But let's talk about the flashing, because a lot of people, they don't flash things right. They don't flash things at all, and tar is not a good flashing material. So with flashing, this is aluminum flashing. They get this in various colors: black, terratone, clay, white, brown, whatever. This one's clay, it looks like. Standard dimensions are 4 inch up, 4 inches over, and I think 7 or 8 tall. Now they used to make a flat piece. It was convenient for bending into walls and things like this right down here, but the problem is those mill finish were made for the old American shingles, and what I mean by American is not made in America, but the metric or the American measurement system, so a standard 5-inch reveal. The shingles now, ever since around the install of this roof and on, all the brands mostly are going to be about a 5 and 5/8, and what I'm talking about is this bottom right here. Pan down. From right here at the bottom, you lay this shingle down. The next row, you put that on what we call the build-up or the reveal. So if you look real close, not the piece my thumb's touching, but that little line underneath right there, that is actually where the shingle wedge, this laminate, go under the sawtooth part. That's the common bond. There's an area of nails need to hit, whatever. But that's shingle needs to be right in that general area, right there where it's at. Now, in some rare circumstance, mostly up at a top section, if your roof gets crooked, you're going to measure lines down or measure up. You can straighten it so you can adjust them a little bit. So every now and then, if you see one down a little bit, that might be why they're trying to straighten it, so cosmetically when you get to the top, it looks good from end to end, You just don't want them all stretched carelessly or jagged, crooked. It's just not good. Now back to the flashing point. So the old mill finish did not go up as high. Where this shingle is put down right here, imagine this one not here. This flashing is going to go in that area of the reveal, the common bond. You don't want it hanging down because when you put the shingle up here, you would see it. It needs to go in that general area. And the important part is that that goes under far enough past the common bond, so you would then put this shingle down. So this shingle, step flashing, this shingle covers all this, but notice how much farther up it goes. So when you put your next piece, hence step flashing, every step of the way you get a new piece of flashing, you have a shingle in between here. That part there gets covered up. Why it's so much better is because any water that gets on this comes out on the next shingle below it. Continuous roll of coil is just not good. There's a lot of different things going in with that. Now, knowing some of the basics, there's more, but the important part I just touched. When you have a wall that comes up at an angle like this, just look at this shingle here for a minute, right here, to the height of this right there. You've got that much going under. Now, if you turn this, this is a bit of an exaggeration I'm going to show you. So right now it's pretty much parallel to that roof right there, right? This hangs down. Some people will be like, oh, I don't want that to hang down. They raise it up. Now, the problem is you're missing all this. That could cause a big problem if you don't double it up. Or what you need to do is bring it down and simply cut this. Score it, snip it off with snips. It's not high enough either. So when you have a piece that's a big angle like this, you need to double it up. Second piece of flashing. Then you'll put your next row of shingles. This one to hide all this. Then you'll double up step flashing and then a row of shingles. Double up step flashing, and you repeat that process until you're past this weird angle. That is one of the biggest oopsies I see when you have a wall like that. Then again, this here, if this would have had some metal down, if they would have brought this shingle down a little lower, I mean, it could have easily come down a few more inches and then trimmed it. And this whole section would have essentially just been down 2 inches farther. It would have completely covered this hole right here. So back to the whole point of what we're going to do to fix this. And yeah, it's not going to be pretty. This is honestly just going to be a freebie here because the rain coming. One hand. Actually, you know what? I got the gimbal. Let me see if I can't gently set this down. DJI, please. Make a gimbal that transitions so the tripod stand can adjust, because if I put all three legs down, it wants to tip over. Hopefully I don't knock my phone and gimbal. But we're going to try to split this right here. Simple enough. I want to try to catch as much of this here as possible, all of this water coming off here. Typically a roll of coil stock would do real good on this. Don't have a lot on the truck right now, but what we can do is double it up. Could easily do that. So a couple little things. Be aware, if you're going to double this up and water gets under here, because this piece is in an angle due to surface tension, water will run down this right into the area you don't want it to. So just keep things like that in mind. We're going to try to keep it parallel or actually slope down and out. That way if it does leak, it's not going to cause an issue. Try to bend this down just ever so slightly. Again, water coming down the path of least resistance and water tension, surface tension, it's going to come off of this point and not run back up under there. And for the haters, yes, I did just touch on this. I talked to the owners here. They're cool with it. This is free. I'm not charging for this. So for those that think I'm charging for this sloppy work, this isn't sloppy. It's drying it in. Within less than 12 hours, we're supposed to have some rain here for the next few days moving in. This is more of a learning ability for y'all here. Try to keep that so it crosses the valley far enough in all directions. Water's not going to wick back up under there too. I'm pretty confident any water coming down this valley in any direction now from here up and from here up that would pose a problem is going to divert past that little torn shingle and the slit where there is no flashing. Now, if you wanted to reflash this and you wanted to do an actual full repair on here, wow, that was so rough on my hand. I'm hoping that video was really smooth there. You can remove these shingles in the area, provided they're going to tear apart easy and not tear. Make sure everything is good and solid. I would recommend trimming the cedar up a little bit. You never want wood, actual true wood, touching a roof deck because it soaks into the grains. You always want to leave a small little gap. But if everything's solid and you're ready to put it back, you would do this shingle, 2 pieces of step flash stacked, then trim this one on, 2 pieces of step flash stacked, stacked. Put this shingle on, trimming it. 2 more pieces. Then bring ice and water down over that piece of metal. Run probably just this shingle up under, and then start this one a few inches down farther, down here. Because this is going to cross over. If it would lower to about this point, it'd be ideal. But if you run this one over, you got a big gap under here. So you don't want that. So run this one, shift this one down. Or if you're not doing the whole section up here, and you just want to redo a few rows, then all you got to do is remove these 2, add one further, and then shorten these 2 rows and just kind of bury it to blend it, but you're accomplishing the same thing. Your shingle's coming down farther. So that's really all there is to it. We're probably going long here. Oh, 10 minutes, 44 seconds. Bear with me. I don't know how to switch the camera. This is going to switch. Oh, that says wait until shooting is complete. Apparently this app you cannot flip the camera. So here, there we go. I hope I'm in it now. The DJI Osmo, pretty cool, but there's some dislikes already with it. You can't stream with it, and they can't flip the camera while recording like you can with the Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus and Ultra phone. So, all right, we got to wrap this one up. Appreciate it. If you got anything any kind of beneficial information, smash the thumbs up button, consider subscribing. Until next time, be safe. We'll see you in the next video.